Okay, so my mic stand doesn't want to hold. We're up and running, but my mic stand doesn't want to hold. Hold on. Give me a second. Please stay. First time in a long time that happened. But we'll see. Hola, ¿cómo estás? We'll see how long this lasts for this. I still need to get a new thing, but all right. Hopefully, we'll be good. Officially, wasn't expecting that to happen at the beginning of the stream, but things happen, and the hope is that things will get better in the long run. Hopefully. But first and foremost, wasn't expecting my mic not to come on, but that's computers. What can you do? Secondly, wasn't expecting to have to deal with the tech side of stuff, or however you want to call it. All right, let's get it here. I'm gonna be on for like a few minutes, and I gotta go do something real quick, and I'll come back. Oh, letting the crew know I'm live. Oh. Okay. Hola, me llamo Vortex46. Espero que estás bien. Welcome back to Better Tone Risk. We are here to go over the rest of the slate tonight. I'm currently 0-1. I took the very first game over, and it's pretty much going to go under, but it happens. It's the only game for the early slate. I mean, the only game for the entire slate that was early. Also, too, I went 0-3 yesterday. Didn't none of my stuff cashed yesterday. But as I always say, if you're new here, click that invite link that I posted in the comments. Join us here at Top Sports Debate. Get access to my picks, our leader Lando, his picks, Bobby the Round Robin King, his picks, and then Q Keezy, my brother, his picks, and like I said, mine. The only one that was close to cashing was the preseason slip that I sent out for teams to score basically 14 points, mostly everybody except for the Lions. The Patriots let us down, or anybody that tailed that slip. Tie ball game. My usual question is, how do you tie in a preseason game? That's pretty much what I was asking some of my homies at my job today. How do you tie in a preseason game? I kind of feel like the overtime stuff should be like nixed. If it's gonna stick and stay for the season, it should be nixed for the preseason. Just let them go out there and finish the game. But not so much for my pick to cash. I'm just saying overall, because I'm like saying like screw myself to basically say, just for the love of the game, just for the players to go out there and get a little bit extra time in, just let the players go out there and finish the game, even if it continues for another 2 hours, because nobody can even kick a field goal, right? So just let them finish the game. But because again, in MLB, these cats sometimes we go on 16, 17 innings sometimes, so until there's a winner. But anyway, 0-1 currently. Like I said, took the over in the game. It didn't go. I did find it kind of weird that it was 7.5, 8, but per the data that I saw, I was just like, well, maybe it, maybe it still hits the 8, at least 8, right? But nah, Chicago still, they may score a run or two. Bottom of the 8th, 2 runners on, 2 outs, maybe, but we'll see. I didn't post my normal reads because for today, because I got busy at work. I didn't get a chance to dive into any of this stuff, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, pretty much my whole breakdown of like the recap and stuff, it took up most of the time here. But we'll see what happens today. We'll see. Reds and Marlins. Per what I feel like, Burns is on the mound tonight for the Reds and Alcantara. So I'm thinking and feeling first 5 under as a main look. This is another main pick of mine for today, which is the full game under for this game, because I feel like the first 5, like I really don't know if the Reds are going to be able to hit up Alcantara as far as reading his pitches. Like they may or may not. I'm automatically assuming that Burns may be able to shut down the Marlins. Again, might, right? It's not fully guaranteed that anything that I say on any of my streams is gonna actually happen. It's just stuff that I personally feel when I'm reading, looking at the game, looking at who's pitching data wise. So this is what I'm feeling could potentially happen, but again, it may or may not happen. The over could still cash. First 5 over could still cash, right? It could literally be Cincinnati lighting up the board and the Marlins not producing any runs. Or it also could be the flip-flop. Marlins score a bunch of runs and the Reds don't. Or it could be a mixture of both. And the first 5 could be 3-2 Reds, 3-2 Marlins, something like that. 4-1, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, I'm feeling more of the full game under. That's what I took for my pretty much my read today for the Reds and Marlins game here, which is technically like the first game of the rest of the slate. The question becomes, once the game gets flowing, whether they're still on the mound by past the 5th or 6th inning, are any of these players going to be like on the board for any type of thing, hits, total bases, you know what I mean? Like, of course you would consider JJ, Sal, Ellie, for the Reds, Suarez. Can't forget about Novelty Marte down here. He may or may not show up tonight. But then you're kind of wondering, because I know Casey hit a home run yesterday randomly. Does he potentially possibly, get on the board? You know what I'm saying? And also to Prop Finder, they updated their site a little bit more. I believe that they're still trying to work to make it be a little bit more crisp, a little bit more cleaner, a little bit more sleek, because they shifted some things around. Even when I click on here, even like here, it's not like the wording is not so big and broad like I kind of was used to. They made the stuff a little bit more smaller. So but I think, per what I want to say that these -1s are more so due to the teams who are favored here. That's what I'm believing, that's what the -1 says, but maybe they'll do a video to break that down, but that's what I'm guessing. But again, like I said, they just did an update, I want to say overnight or something like that, so some of this stuff is kind of new, kind of fresh. Also too, weather wise, there's really nothing major for today outside of the Cincinnati game, which has 30% rain. Everything else is pretty much fine weather wise, so there's no concern as far as if a game is going to get postponed or anything for the slate today. So okay, so yeah, I got like 30 seconds before my alarm goes off. So yeah, like I said, I gotta go do something real quick, take about a minute and a half, maybe less, and then I'll come back. So all in all, do you really consider, like me, I feel like, maybe Conan can do something, maybe Hernandez, maybe Mac, maybe Otto, maybe Lopez, possible potential Edwards might be able to do something against Chase. I know that Chase recently, he did struggle here. What's my alarm? He did struggle here in his last time pitching, and in 2 starts prior, he allowed 5 runs against the Guardians. So me personally, I feel like he possibly potentially will shut down the Marlins. So I would potentially even look towards Marlins first 5 team runs under. It's probably 2.5. I'm just looking at this real quick before I go do what I need to do real quick. So yeah, it's actually 2. They're believing that he's gonna potentially give up 2 runs, but it's plus value. Maybe he doesn't allow the earned runs against the Marlins tonight. Maybe he doesn't, because he really doesn't allow too many earned runs just in general. And at home, pretty much the same thing. So I'm thinking and feeling first 5 under, full game under, like I said, is my main pick. Let me go handle something real quick and I'll be right back. What's good, D Mackie? Give me a moment. I'm trying to fix my mic. That's why I haven't been. I'm like trying to fix it, but give me a moment here. Okay. I kind of just sat it up against the wall. This is the best that I could do. Hopefully it'll stick. Because this thing decided it wanted to just like keep slipping off the. I basically had it connected to my other laptop, my old one, but it just didn't want to. And this is a brand new everything. It was a whole brand new like mic stand, all of that, the holder and all. It's brand new, and it I still got the attachment, the sticky part. It came off like 2 days later. I'm like, man, this is some cheese. Anyway, full game under. Let's get to it. I'm gonna try to be kind of just run through, because like I said, I didn't do any breakdowns, so for these games, so pretty much all this stuff is kind of like fresh thoughts, fresh thinking. So White Sox Tigers, I really want to take the White Sox as a money line pick here. They've let me down back-to-back games. Actually not back-to-back, but they won here against Cincinnati. So I picked them against Cincinnati here and they lost. Then the next game I didn't take them. But the game after that against Cincinnati, I took them. So I'm in the last 5 where I took the White Sox to win straight up. I'm 0-2. And like I said, I really want to take the White Sox tonight, but they're on the road. I don't know if they'll cover the run line or not tonight. Because Job is pitching tonight. And Job has only pitched 1 game this year, and he's 1-0, and that was on the road where the 49ers, the Giants lost to them 8-0. So he's technically 1-0. Let me go see what he did as far as pitching wise in that game here. So he didn't allow, I don't even know why I even looked at that or broke it down like this. So he didn't allow any runs. while Newcomb, he's only pitched one time this year as well. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm thinking and feeling White Sox money line, but I'm also thinking and feeling potential full game over. That's what the books believe, because we have two pitchers that are getting thrown out there who've literally only pitched one time. Both times, one team scored 8 runs, the other team only scored, let me see, they only scored 1 run here at Detroit. So they're back in Detroit. So I'm thinking and feeling possible either the full game goes over because of these pitchers, or the full game goes under because of these pitchers. Like, how is the first 5 going to go here? Last year, what was it? Last year, Job, he did fairly okay, sort of, kind of, right? More so at home. The Tigers won 4 out of those games that he pitched at home, while Newcomb on the road, he only pitched on the road 1 time. So I personally feel like maybe the White Sox win, but it's Detroit. Like, Detroit, we know can put up runs. They don't bat well against lefty pitchers, though. So it's either, like I said, it's either the full game goes under, or there's a potential spot where both pitchers give up a bunch of runs in the first 5, gets closer to that, closer to that full game over, and then the rest of the back half, the bullpens come in and they give a bunch of runs. But if you feel like the first 5 will go under, take it on the under. Let's see what that is real quick. First 5 under would be, they believe it's going to go over. It's a plus 105 on DraftKings and BetMGM, even 100 on Fanatics, Caesars, and the score bet at minus 102 on FanDuel. So that's what I'm thinking, feeling personally. Like, on the road, it's gone over 60% when it's pertaining to the White Sox, but 60%, well, that's the last 10, but last 5, it went under 6% hit rate. For the Tigers, 6% hit rate to the under in the last 10. Last 5, and same thing with the last 10 to the under. So again, if you think and feel like the full game under will go, take it. I just want to know if, like, the White Sox could potentially win this game. But again, we don't really know. Really don't. Because again, I'm basing it off of the actual pitching arms. Because on paper, White Sox bat better against righties, even though they struggle against righties. And as you see here, a few of their batters are way under 200 with a batting average. So the only thing that you could potentially see them getting is torque, maybe Eduardo, maybe Dylan, maybe Kevin. So that's what I'm thinking and feeling for this game. So we'll just stick with the either the full game over, full game under. I am kind of now really looking at it. Maybe full game under would be the best look for this game, and then maybe again, because I'm just like really wanting Chicago to win right on the road tonight, but it possibly will be Detroit winning. But we got to consider Detroit's bullpen. They kind of have been interesting more recently, so that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe Chicago pulls a win out their hat in the first game of this series. So my Pirates are back here at home tonight. It did rain for 3 hours here, roughly early afternoon, for, like I said, for roughly about 3 hours. By the time I got off of work, the rain had stopped. The question becomes, is there going to be any rain later tonight? Doesn't look like it's forecast to rain tonight, but fielding conditions and everything like that may have a cause and effect on this game here, but we'll see. There's still technically over an hour left before the game's supposed to start, but we'll see if there's any delays or anything. But on paper, we are underdogs. Boston's coming in here. They only won, was it last night? So last night they finished out finally getting a win against Toronto. As I always say, it's really hard to sweep, right? So I always mention that, but But yesterday, was it yesterday? No, the day before, I was able to catch the Rays sweeping the Athletics. Really felt really good about them on paper, even covering the run line, and they did do that. But tonight, new start, fresh start for both teams against each other. Well, not a fresh start. It's our first time against the Red Sox here at home, because we didn't play against them last year. We were on the road, and we only had one game. Looks like, actually no, we beat them 2-1 last year. So possible revenge spot, them coming here to beat us in this series. But I'm hoping that we can match them. But also we'll see, because we still have been struggling, still on a struggle bus to really find runs in the last 10 for us. As you see here, more specifically, let me do this. Us at home. Well, us at home, okay, more recently. So I guess it was more so. Actually, pause. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Here we go. Us at home, we did score 9 runs here. We had 4 here, but we did have 1-0 here, 7 here, 3. Like, we're not consistently scoring, as you see here, 4 runs, 3-4 games in a row. It's like we go up, then we go down. We go up, then we go down. So, do we get any hits, any runs off of Bennett? 7-5 record. He's given up 3 runs with his ERA. Maybe we do. He's a lefty, and we actually bat a little bit better against lefties than we do righties. So maybe him coming here, we could potentially get some runs. Let me look at us as far as our data is when it's pertaining to the runs. They're giving us 4 runs, minus 115 on DraftKings is the best value for me. Caesars 118, 120. So us versus lefties. Like I said, we do bat better against lefties, but again, still more recently, it's just, I don't know what happened to us though. It's like after the All-Star break, we just kind of just fell off the face of the earth. So maybe the last 5 games kind of shows that we are sort of kind of maybe possibly bouncing back, but even at home versus lefties, we struggled. So I'm hopeful that we can get 4 runs tonight against Bennett. And then Bubba, he at home, when he's pitched, just in general, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, we scored 4 runs or higher. So the hope is that because we're back at home, we'll do what we normally do when Bubba's pitching on the mound. That's the hope that that's the case. So maybe you do look towards the full game over if Bubba allows any runs in the first 5, and then our bullpen as well. Boston on the road, they get runs, as you see, right? Bennett, he, specifically when he pitches, Boston gets runs when he's pitching on the road. And he still has, or at least the bullpen and plus him has allowed, 3 teams to score 4 runs or higher. So again, maybe we do consider the full game over to 7.5. Maybe you do consider the Bucks to score some runs. Maybe you do consider taking the rookie for some total base and HRR. Brandon may or may not show up tonight because you see he's struggling versus lefties. But again, look at Boston. They're red as far as righty pitcher versus righty pitching. And you got to remember, like, Abreu bats much better against lefties too. So, but Contreras is still a look. Yoshida's is still a look. Monasteros is still a look. So, let me look at Nick real quick, because I think he had a single the last game. Yeah, he had 2 singles the last game, 3 in total in the past 2 games to finalize the series against the Marlins. Now he's 3-0 from last year to getting a single. Does this roll over into this year is the question. Jake does not struggle against lefty or righty batters, but he has more of a prevalent spot for him versus lefty batters. So maybe you consider fading Lowe's HRR tonight, because maybe he may shut him down. Maybe Brian gets shut down because he could bats lefties on the left side of the plate. But all in all, maybe we still possibly consider the full game over at 7.5. If it does go, maybe that will be the thing that happens. So we'll see. So that's that one. Like I said, I'm just gonna run through a because I don't want to hold y'all. Next up, we'll go Tampa. So my O's are on the road once again, facing off against the Rays. This series, did we cover any run line? Well, we covered against them back in May at home. We couldn't cover against them on the road. Maybe this rolls over into this series because we're back on the road against the Rays. Now, Motts is pitching. Last time he faced off against us, he allowed a bunch of runs. And Bassett is pitching for us. He has not faced against the Rays, but he has a high ERA at 5.2. So maybe you still consider this full game over, even though the books believe it's going to go under. You never know. Honestly, it's still, sometimes the books are correct, sometimes they're not. But let's look at it here. Bassett, when he's pitched this year, more specifically on the road, we've scored some runs 3 times, 4 runs or higher, but outside of that, under 4, and the other squad scored more runs than us. So he is technically 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 2-3, 2-4. So 2-4 on the year, while Matt's, more specifically on the road, the Rays have scored 4 runs or higher 3 times, 0-1, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, so 3-2. So both pitchers are above 500 in this specific spot. So again, maybe you do consider the full game over, but I'm kind of wondering, like, as far as from my O's perspective, does Mayo come through? I actually like him for a hit or 2 tonight. Total base, kind of glance at his stuff, because he has a double against Steven. Maybe he can get something because he hasn't had a hit in 2 games. Let's look what he's done on the road. Same thing, but he's only 1-5 against them. 1-1 this year against the Rays. But he did get a hit against them on the road, or at least, excuse me, total base. Well, total base hit, a single. Maybe he does show up tonight. Does Pete show up? Maybe Pete possibly hits a home run. He's a righty. Steven's given up 10 home runs to righties. Chris, you still got to consider Junior to potentially go yard, even though he's a righty. Liam possibly in the best spot because he's green, super green. He's the best batter on the board here per the data. His home run is a plus 980. I would highly recommend that you possibly take him for that because he might get it. Always, guys, chase that plus value. Yes, you can do the plus 230s and stuff like that, 300s and stuff, but you want to take these plus 980s. You really do. When it's up like this, if Liam goes out there because he's on this new squad and he hits another home run tonight, going back to back, you didn't put it in. I'm just saying, he has 3 hits against Chris. No home runs currently. Why not take a hot bat against the pitcher that he has his number currently? All of them were singles. And if you want to take him for another single, it's a -105 on BetMGM. I'm probably going to take that too. Just because the simple fact that he has a hit and 3 at-bats, he's 3-0 against Chris. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to go 4-0, but you never know. If he does and he gets that single, like I said, I'm probably going to take that too. I like that. Aranda could still show up. So I'll say, personally, possible revenge spot for my O's. On paper, it doesn't look like we have a chance to win, but if we do pull out a win, it'd probably be on the back half of the game, unless we show up early, get a bunch of runs, Rays can't find anything, some errors happen, and we even say win the first 5 money line. So me being biased, I'm gonna say my O's for the win, but on paper, Rays look like they're the better team. Rays money line is the best look for that game. And now we move on to not that one, apologies, even though I got to talk about that one. Mets and so Mets facing off against the Nationals. We know that Mets, for the most part, usually play better at home. Now, more recently, on the road, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong. I got to make sure I'm correct. Mets on the road, they had scored 3 runs here, 8, 11. This is just in the last 5. 2 games prior to that, 6, 13. So they were sort of kind of scoring runs most of these last 10 games on the road this month. So they've been showing up. That's what their bats have been doing. It's a positive. Looking at them at home, a little bit of a downtick. But again, we're talking about from last month though. Now this month, they're technically 0-2 on not getting 4 runs. This month, do they get runs against Alvarez tonight? He did face off against him one time. He gave up basically 5 runs against them. Let's see if he actually played against the this year. No, that was last year. They won 12-6. I don't necessarily see the Mets scoring 9+ runs tonight, but you never know. So when Alvarez pitches on the road, he hasn't allowed too many runs in the first 5, as you see, and it looks like the Nationals potentially possibly won some of these games. Potentially won. Okay, this was last year. Let's talk about this year. So 1-0, 1-1, 1-2, 2-2. So 2-3 with him on the road. And then Stock, who has only pitched 2 times, he's currently 0-2 on pitching this season. That's not good. 1 on the road, 1 on at home. 1 game they got blown out, 1 game they didn't. Remember, Wood is not in. You're trying to rely on CJ, of course, as always. He's literally the best batter on the board for the Nationals, but he's been more down as far as his total base, but at least been consistent with his HRR. I would say look towards CJ for his HRR. Take him for 2, take him for 3. He's probably going to get at least between 2 to 4 tonight. He's green against the 4-seam in the cutter, and Stock struggles. So maybe full game over. Potential spot for the Nationals to get a win on the road. Because again, we're talking about the first 5. Because remember, the first 5 most of the time leads the game. But it doesn't mean that it's going to actually fully finish off what the pitchers did in the first 5. Doesn't necessarily mean that what happens in the first 5 is going to fully continue, right? Anything can go at any given point. We've seen the best pitchers on the board go out there and in a random game get hit up for 5 runs, some errors and stuff. They get pulled by inning 4, roughly 4.5, and then, you know what I'm saying, the back half of the game is when some extra runs happen from the bullpen, and you see a team that doesn't look like on paper that they would score 7, 8, 9 runs. They go out there and score 12, right? But on paper, Nationals look like a potential winning spot here. They're plus value. Maybe you do take the Nationals to win tonight. Maybe you do take them to cover tonight. Maybe they do possibly potentially cover. They're actually covering against the Mets, and they're covering on the road, 67%. This is between this year and last year. They're 2-1 against them this year, way back in April. So again, and that was here in New York. Well, not here where I'm living, but there. So maybe you do take the Nationals to cover this run line. It is super juiced, but if you feel like they're actually covered by 2 runs, take them for this either +1, which is a little bit more juice, a little bit less juice, -149, or higher than that, -1 plus value, +130 on DraftKings. But like I said, if you feel like they're going to cover by 2 runs, +170, bet the score bet app, +160 on Fanatics and BetMGM, and then 159 on DraftKings. But again, that's if they actually cover. Now, when it's pertaining to covering a -1.5 this year, they are only 3-4. So there's that, and only 1-2 against the Mets this year in the series. So yeah, still possible consideration to still they at least cover a +1.5 tonight, and maybe still pull out the win. I actually do like the Nationals to win. Let me do Nationals first 5. I like the first 5 money line. Look at that. The books believe they're going to do it. -105. So I'll take that. And next up is, all right, this one. This one I definitely want to talk about because it's a game that I actually have another pick in. This is my only other pick because, like I said, I only have 3 picks today. And I forgot to mention too, really forgot to mention, I'm probably going to look to see if I can find another 4 to 5 leg one hit parlay. Or I might even do just like one HRR or something like that. But if I do a one HR, it's going to be like, it's going to be like a ugly line for that slip. But we'll see. But I do want to do another one hit parlay tonight if I can find any batters to do it. Let's see if that under cash. I believe it did. Yep, 3-0. The under cash. Congratulations to the Cubs. They covered the run line, won the game. They didn't cover anything in the first half, but I didn't see Libertard getting like 6+ strikeouts and not allowing any hits. I didn't see that happening. But anyway, so Padres and Guardians, my third and final pick, main pick, should I say. Like I said, I don't have any other picks currently, but I'm going to try to work on this one hit parlay. Guardians, I have them scoring 2 runs in the first 5. It's real simple. King is on the mound. He's 7-8 on the year. It was a -145 that I got it at. They face off against a righty. They usually normally get 2 runs. And at home, same thing. More recently at home, even in this month, they're 3-0 to getting 2 runs against a righty pitcher. So I said, let me take the hot bat. Now I could have bumped this up to 3 because y'all know me. I personally like taking plus value when it's sitting right there in front of my face. So you see here, just in general, the last 6 games, they are 5-1 to getting 3 runs in the first 5. They've been getting it. King, he's averaging, allowing 2 just in general in the last 10. 2 in the last few games here on the road. Head to head, he has no data. Well, actually, no, he shut him down last year. But this was last year. This was at San Diego. So this is in Cleveland. I personally feel like Cleveland go out here and get the 2 runs, but that's just me. Does Gavin shut them down? The Padres head to head, he's 0-1 against them from 2 seasons ago. He only finished with 5 Ks. He allowed 3 earned runs that game, 6 hits that game, 3 runs that game. Does all of this roll over 2 seasons ago? That's the question. But again, more recently, he's been getting strikeouts, not allowing too many hits more recently, not even allowing that many earned runs more recently. So maybe he's just doing much better currently, and he's gonna maybe possibly continue this in this month by taking on the Padres and possibly potentially shutting them down the first 5. I forgot that Cleveland traded for Nathan Lowe. I forgot that, dog. How the heck did I forget that? He hasn't done, doesn't look like he hasn't done well. If this is all from just in general, maybe he is positive with the squad. But he has 2 singles against Michael King, but that's 7 at bats though. It's not too much of a look. Anything really standing out like, oh, like he, possibly will get another single tonight against King because he has 2 singles against him. He's struggling a little bit batting 4th though. Just a little bit. Ooh, this is new. Okay, well, not new. They just, all right, so this is what they did. They put the EV here, barrel, the hard hit. What is that? SS percentage. Max EV. What is the LAXX? I'm gonna have to really look at that because I really don't know what the LASS percentage is. It's probably something that I already know. They just put it in parentheses or broke it down. Maybe you still look towards Travis to do something. He might show up tonight. He's at least getting hits. He has no data against Padres though, but he's super great against that sinker. How many does he have any? He has 1 home run against the sinker. I don't know, maybe you, like I said, maybe you do look towards him to at least get a hit. He's struggling on a Friday though. Like I said, I just need Guardians to get I just need 2 runs in the first 5. That's it. Just 2 runs and I'll be good. I will be good. All right. So that's pretty much that. Like I said, as far as like full game, on paper, Cleveland's actually favored, which is interesting. Maybe they do get a bunch of runs in the first 5. Maybe you do take Cleveland to win on the money line, first 5 money line, but they haven't been covering often though. Like Padres look better. Let's see. Can we get a Holmes? No, we can't. It won't let me. Oh no, here we go. Even at home, literally 1 win, 2 ties. We're talking about the last 5. 1 win, 2 ties, and 2 L's. 2 wins and 3 L's for Padres, first 5. No head-to-head though. Oh, actually, Padres. Let me reset that. There we go. They went 0-3 from last year. But again, that was at San Diego. Maybe they flip the script. Maybe they do win. So maybe you do consider it's a minus 130 on FanDuel. So I'm gonna queue up the first 5. Let's see if they actually win the first 5. That's just a read. It's not an actual bet that I'm gonna place. It's just something that I like. The one that I'm, like I said, more than likely probably gonna end up taking is Washington money line. Actually, no, not Washington money line. It's this. Probably not even going to take Hicks for this single because I like it. That's that one. Broke that down. I don't know about the full game. Maybe it goes over. Maybe it goes under. The book sleeve is going to go under. It went under 2 of the 3 games last year. When King pitches on the road, 50% in the last 10, 2 and 3. Williams at home, 50%, 2 and 3 in the last 5. I don't know. I really don't know if it's gonna go over or not. Maybe because it's 7.5. Usually we're seeing a lot of 8.5. When you see a 7.5, you're like, is it really gonna hit that 8 or not? We'll see. Yankees and Blue Jays. They just updated what you call it. Now Yankees on the road, Blue Jays here at home. I know Blue Jays lost the last game because I took them to win against Boston because Data was saying that they were potentially going to win. That didn't happen. They lost 7-0. They got shut out. Now they're back at home against the Yankees. Head-to-head wise, this year at home, they are 2-1 to apologies. 1-2. Apologies. 1-2 this year. Same spot in Toronto. But this was back in June. So totally different team since then. No Judge. No I think it was Bellinger. I think that's one that's out, right? Yeah, Bellinger's not here. It's just been, I mean, of course, granted, they got Garcia Jr. now, so that's positive for them. He has hit four hits in the last 5, so that's positive. Technically 5 hits in the last 5, but he's 0-4 against Shane. Maybe this fixes. Maybe he gets a hit tonight against Shane on the road with his new squad, with his new teammates. Maybe he does at least get a hit tonight. I'm personally, because Garrett Cole's pitching, so I'm personally thinking, possibly feeling possible under full game. Let's see. Let's look at it here. Let me just go here. Let's go Garrett Cole. So here's why. Garrett Cole, 6% hit rate in the last 10 to going under. On the road, 86% hit rate to the under when he pitches as a starter for the Yankees. But we got to look at Shane. 6% hit rate to the over in the last 10, but on the road, 67% hit rate. So personally, I love it a lot. I'm going to take the under. We'll see if it goes. The books believe it's actually going to go over though, but it's plus value, plus 105. BetMGM, the score bet app. I like it like a lot for that one to actually go that route. But again, the question becomes, are any of the Blue Jays going to read Garrett Cole's pitches, or any of the Yankees going to be able to read Shane's pitches at all? Because again, on paper, as you see here, the Blue Jays are actually looking better as far as their stuff. So maybe you consider Blue Jays for a few runs, but still Yankees maybe not getting 4 runs. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it goes 4-3, 4-2 tonight, something like that. But let's look at Shane here as far as first five is concerned with the team runs. Excuse me, with the earned runs. So sort of kind of allowing runs, sort of kind of not, but most of the time he's really not, right? At home, same thing. He's been shutting teams down. So that's that. He's only been allowing roughly 2 runs. So if you think the Yankees can get the 2 runs in the first 5, that's if they can. Maybe you take it. Now they're mostly going under the 2 more recently. Maybe you take the chance for them to go under the 2 runs at a plus value here if they even allow you to take it. Nope, they don't. So they're actually pushing you to take the under 3. So that sucks because I love taking plus value in a spot where the team probably possibly might actually get it. But it's a minus 145 for them to go under the 2 runs. Most of the time, they're usually going under anyway. They're facing off against a righty. They still suck against a righty. So this is the best spot. So full game under. Yankees team runs, first 5, under. I love it a lot. I'm not saying that I'm going to take it, but it's just an extra read. But again, on paper, maybe Jesus, Nathan, Guerrero, Jr., Ernie, maybe they show up. Maybe the Blue Jays actually flip it and they actually do get some runs tonight on the board. We'll see. Let me go handle something real quick. I'll be right back. Give me a moment here. I'll be right back. I'm back. You know what? I wasn't paying attention. That's because my mic threw my whole steez off. I didn't realize I had my light off. Apologies, but I hope y'all can see me, hear me, all of that. But yeah, what was I on? I was on Yankees Blue Jays. Yeah. So, like I said, full game under is the main read. Side read for the game. Yankees team runs under first 5. We'll see. Arizona and Braves should be the next one up. Yep. I'm not going to be on her too much longer because, like I said, I want to be able to go eat. I want to try to see if I can find this hopeful 4-leg 1-hit each slip. Hopefully, if I can, for tonight. And maybe, hopefully, be able to watch one of those NFL games. I didn't watch anything yesterday because I was so tired from work, and I started dozing off at like 7 o'clock and around the time the game started. And I was like holding my phone, trying to pay attention to the at least the scores, and also too with the MLB as well. So I ended up fighting my sleep all the way through till 9 p.m. and then finally closed my eyes and then slept until 2 a.m. Woke up, went back to sleep. Then my alarm went off and I started my day. So, all right. So this one here, I personally feel like the full game under could cash. We got Chris Sale pitching tonight. Fat's pitching tonight. Fat struggles against lefties when it's pertaining to the home run. Chris versus righties when it's pertaining to the home run. Chris, on paper, he still pitches really well against both lefty and righty batters, while Fat, he struggles against lefty batters. So, of course, obviously off top, you're considering possibly potentially taking the Braves to score roughly 4 runs, maybe 5 tonight against Brandon before he comes off the mound. That's what you should automatically think when you're seeing them struggle against a specific batting arm, right? So he struggles against lefties. Atlanta has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batters who are lefties. That's if Jim, actually looks like Jim is batting tonight. But the question becomes, does Brandon get hit up tonight? Does he or does he not? Let's look at Brandon here when it's pertaining to his earned runs. Now, look at how beautiful this is. He's been shutting teams down. Head to head, 2-1, but 1-0 on this year. Back in April on the 5th, he allowed 3 runs here. This was on the road though. But Arizona won that game 6-5. Now, on the road when he's pitched though, he gave up a bunch of runs in the back half of the last 10 road starts, but more recently he's fixed some of the issues that he's been having. So he's only allowed 2 teams to get 2 runs, Dodgers and St. Louis. He shut us down here on the 28th. He shut the Padres down here on the 6th of July, but he allowed Philly to get 3 off of him back in April. So I'm curious, does this game from this year roll over into this game tonight? That's my question. Because again, like I said, he struggles against lefties. The other pitcher doesn't. Maybe still first 5 under, because again with Sale, well, let's break down Sale. Earned runs, he's every other game sort of kind of giving up 3 runs. Head to head though, 2-0 to not allowing them to get anything above 1. At home, same thing every other game. So again, if you believe in this fake stupid little trend that they talk about, every other game allowing, he would be in the spot where he wouldn't allow the Diamondbacks to get the runs. But again, I don't believe in that stuff. I always say that because I'm just like, it's either the pitcher's going to stop them from scoring runs or he's not, because he went back to back here. So it's either he's going to not allow them to score runs or he's not in the first 5. So it's a -130 for him to allow at least 2 runs. This is good. This is technically good, but you got to still consider the matchup from last year. Does this roll over into this year? 1 game was on the road, One game was at home. So yeah, there's that info. So I'm still thinking potential possible first 5. Maybe the Braves get 3 runs, 2 runs, something like that against Fott tonight, and the first 5 under cashes. So I'm gonna go with the first 5 as a read. Books believe is gonna go under. Like, as you're seeing, like I literally, everything that I'm talking about, I literally am just like guessing, because that's what we do. Every pick that you put in, it's a guess. It's never a guarantee that it's gonna hit. Remember, you put a team down at an alternate team run at a minus 290, and you see it doesn't hit. It's because that day was the day that decided not to do what you thought that they were gonna supposedly automatically supposed to do. Yeah, never ever assume that it's supposed to automatically happen. It's not. It's a treat every single game like it's a fresh new start. Just treat it like that. Even if a team or a player is on the street, treat it like it's a brand new, first time seeing the pitcher, the field, all of that. Treat every day like literally like, because technically it is a brand new day, right? So yeah, as far as like full game run line, I maybe Atlanta, but that's if it's potentially possibly a close game. Books believe is going to go over, which I find funny. The books believe is going to go under like I do, first 5 at least, but then they believe that it's going to go fully over the 7.5, or maybe it just lands on 8, but still they believe it's going to at least get 8 runs. I don't know. Probably because of the bullpens. That's probably more than likely what it is. So all in all, look at Harris. Always, for the most part, this year at least, Harris is sort of kind of producing like HRR stuff. So look towards him. He might get the 2. He has a triple and a single against Brandon, so he doesn't actually bat well against him. So, but again, maybe he actually does it tonight. And for the Diamondbacks, again, they're facing off against Chris. He's possibly gonna shut them down, but you never know. Chris might actually get lit up and actually allow 3 runs tonight. He just might. Just never know. But like I said, first 5 under. We'll see if any of these batters can actually show up tonight. The first 5 and even after both pitchers come off the mound. But I'm personally thinking first 5 under, at least as a main read. I just don't know if that full game is going to hit the 8 or not. I really don't. But you never know. Let me just look at this here. Let me see head-to-head wise. It's hit 2 and 3 this year. No, 2 and 2. And that was on the road. That was at Arizona. So that's that. Last year was different. So yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, the overs cash for him. Chris on the road. At home, over cash 60%. I don't know. Maybe like I said, maybe it does hit, but that first 5 will probably be more of a prevalent spot, and then everything else happens afterwards. So yeah, you literally could win on 2 slips. First 5 under, full game over. Maybe it hits 9 runs late game or the back half. We'll see. So my favorite team in the entire league, because I keep saying it, since 1997. I really wish that it was 1997, 98, 99, when the sweetest swing in the world, Ken Griffey Jr. was still balling. He was still a young man then too. Randy Johnson was on the squad. Ichiro was just coming into the fold. Or should I say Ichiro-san? So my Mariners, even though, like I said, Baltimore is like my favorite current team right now, but my Mariners, we have sucked this year. Same thing on the road. We're not scoring runs consistently. Houston at home, they have been scoring runs consistently. So on paper, you would look towards Houston for the money line. They're currently favored. It's low too, which is good. Minus 119 on DraftKings, 121 Caesars. This is a good value here, because a lot lot of the other money lines are super hot. They're super juice. 145. Let me see what else. Yeah, 145 for the Rays, 135 for the Yankees, 186 for the Like, this is a nice little spot. Minus 120 for the Stros to win tonight at home against a very struggling Seattle Mariners squad. Kirby's on the mound, though. Let me look at Kirby real quick. Let me see. Again, like I said, we're struggling currently, but it depends on the pitcher that we throw out there. So Curbster, we still don't score runs with Kirby on the mound on the road this year. Literally only one game we scored 4 runs all season when Kirby was on the mound. Again, on the road. Lambert, when he's pitching at home, sort of kind of scoring runs for this team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6%. 4 runs or higher. So I would maybe, again, let me see. Kirby when he's pitched. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. So 4 teams scored. Actually, 3 teams scored 4 runs. So maybe the full game under might be a look. Maybe. Possibly. The books believe it's going to go under. But maybe. Let me look at Kirby here. Curbster. He hasn't allowed any runs. Head-to-head, same thing. He's actually 2-0 to stopping Houston from scoring. So maybe you consider possibly taking first 5 under team runs for the Stros to go under. It is juice, but still, this is a great spot. 154 possibly might hit. Them versus righties more recently, they've gone under 4 straight. On the back half of the 10 they were up. So they're actually been struggling more recently. And at home, though, versus righties, they were actually producing. So what do you really do in this spot? You actually look at not what they've done in the last several games, but you actually look at Kirby versus the squad to say, yo, could you trust Kirby to shut down the squad again this year? Again, 2-0. He did it at home, only allowing 2 runs. And he did it on the road. Again, this was back in May, and we only allowed 1 run. But again, this is a better batting squad. So it's a 50-50 spot. Houston is batting much better at home currently. Again, it's a 50-50 spot. But maybe Kirby has their number. So maybe you do take the first 5 under team runs, and they might not get. Maybe they just get 2. And it just stops at 2 and that's it. Maybe the 2 happens super early within the first 3 innings and nothing else the rest of the way. So I would highly recommend you do consider. But again, as I always say, anything that I say on the stream is potentially possibly going to go the other way. But I like that as a read. Technically, the main read would be Astros money line and then side pick the Astros first 5 team runs under, because we're basing off against Kirby. Because I don't, honestly, on paper, I do not see my Mariners winning tonight. And then maybe the full game under too. So that's 3 picks technically. So main pick, Stros winning straight up. You could still possibly take this under 8.5. First 5 under could still potentially smack in cash for you tonight. So that's that one. And then, like I said, the Houston Astros on the team spot. Next up, so the Angels. Here's the thing. I had an extra bet. So even though I said I went 0-3 last night, I went 0-4 last night. And I should have really went 1-3. Here's why. Angels versus Rangers. Final game of the series. I said I'm going to fade the Angels on the team runs 4.5. I went on Bet 365. I put the slip in. But remember, what did I say when I was talking about the games last night? I was dozing off. So I was half asleep when I put the slip in. I picked the wrong bet. I picked the Rangers team runs full game 4.5 under. Yeah. I mean, not I picked the no, that's right. So I was supposed to pick the Rangers 4.5 under, because the data was showing that they were gonna go under their team runs. That's what the data said. Because the Angels, I'm talking about how the Angels go under their team runs, right? More recently, somehow, right? I picked the Angels, and I meant to pick the Rangers. That's what it was. Because I'm trying to remember my own foggy last night. So like I said, I picked the wrong bet. I was supposed to take the first the 4.5 under for the Rangers, and I picked the Angels on accident. Even though, like I said, I was like, well, maybe the Angels go under, but I was like, I actually really like the Rangers to go under their team runs, and I picked, like I said, the Angels to go under on accident because I was falling asleep with my pick. And yeah, never put your never place your bets when you're half asleep. Just don't do it. So Angels tonight, they're at home against the Royals. We know that the Royals, they have been struggling too. They're actually favored a little bit here tonight. Rodriguez is pitching for them. Lugo's pitching for the Royals. Rodriguez is pitching for the Angels. Do you consider fading the Angels tonight? It's juiced -155, 160 on the ScoreBet app. They've been, like I said, they've been going under, but they have back-to-back games here. Like I said, messed up my picked the wrong one, and they won 7-0 yesterday. This was them at home. Let's look at the head-to-head. Head-to-head wise, they've gone under even just this year, 2-1 to the under. They scored 9 runs randomly at Kansas City on the 26th of April. Now they're facing off against a righty. Even then, when they're facing off against a righty, 3-2 to the under, averaging 5 runs though, because again they had the 9 here, and that's technically 3-1 to the under this year. Actually, no, I apologize. They're 1-0 to the 0-1 to the under. I don't necessarily know if Lugo is gonna actually give up a whole bunch of runs here. I don't know. Now, he's averaging 3 runs in the last 10, 3 runs in the last 5. On the road, same thing, 4 runs in the last 10, 4 runs in the last 5. Do you possibly consider, the question becomes now, looking at Lugo and his history, do you consider maybe not fading the Angels and actually taking them on their team runs at 4, -138, -140 on DraftKings? Maybe this is a look. They sort of kind of were getting some runs last year. They're 1-2 this year. And versus righty pitchers, like I showed you, they're actually going above the mark. They're averaging 5 runs against them. Maybe you do consider Angels full game 4 runs. I just don't know if they'll actually win tonight. Maybe first 5 money line, if they can actually do that. They're not favored. Rodriguez is pitching. He has a 3-5 record. He's giving a bunch of runs, but he hasn't faced off against Kansas City though. Let's look at Rodriguez real quick. I'm trying to hurry up because I do need to eat some dinner and stuff and get ready to. I gotta try to figure out this bet real quick before these games start. Let me look at let's see, 4.5. So Lugo's usually going under. Rodriguez is usually going over. He's 1-1 this month, but in total 70% hit rate. Now at home, 86% hit rate this year when he's pitched at home. Lugo on the road, 6% to the under though, but 2-3 in the last 5. So 6% to the under as well. I don't know if you trust it. I don't know. Data wise, I'm automatically like, yo, like take Angels first 5 2 runs. It might be even 3. It's actually 2 runs, but the push is 3. They haven't done it consistently. 2 and 3 versus righties between this year, last year. At home, same thing, not too consistent. 2 and 3 in the last 5, not consistent. But if it was 2 runs, not 3 runs, just a little bit better. But it's super juice though. You can't even pick it. That's whack. So maybe you just don't. That's whack. Because I would say 2, you know what I'm saying, 1.5 automatically. I'd be like, yeah, take the Angels to get 2 runs. But they're making you take a possible potential loss if they don't get the 3 runs tonight. The only other thing I can think to potentially take is them to win on the money line, which isn't fully guaranteed. They may tie or something like that. They currently believe -112, -1. It's a, well, FanDuel believes that it's a 50-50 split. BetMGM believes that the Angels can win. DraftKings, same thing. I'll queue up that. Apologies, wrong one. I'll queue up Angels first 5 money line. It's the best thing I could really find. Like I said, the best thing was for them just to get 2 runs in the first 5, but I don't like that it's super juicy. You can't even put the bet in. All right, this will be the last one I do because, like I said, I want to go get some dinner because I'm already behind on eating dinner anyway. And I'll just say Dodgers, Milwaukee, potential full game under. Rockies, Giants. I really want to take the Rockies, but Giants might possibly win. Rangers wise, they just lost last night. They're facing off against the Athletics, who like recently scored a few runs. Rangers on the road struggled 3 straight to score anything. They're throwing Rocker out there. Rocker has struggled this year as far as earned runs concerned. As you see here, anytime he's giving up anything, it's usually mostly above 2 runs. Head to head though, he's actually 2-0 to not allowing the Angels from getting 3 runs, but they did score 2 runs against him. I don't like it. They've been consistently getting 2 runs. I just don't know if they'll actually get 3. Now, they did hit 3 here, head-to-head wise, but this was back in April. I don't know if they'll actually do it tonight. Versus righties, actually, well, versus righties just in general, they are 4-2 against the Rangers. They're consistent against righties. Let's look at them at home. Consistent against righties at home. Maybe you do consider taking the Athletics to get 3 runs tonight because it is a -105 on DraftKings. Maybe you do. But the question becomes, is the first 5 going to hit for the over? That's what I'm trying to figure out though. So EV to the first 5. Rocker pitches usually goes over most of the time. 8-2 in the last 10. Jump, same thing, 70% hit rate. Head to head though, this year, 3-4 to the over though. At Rangers there, only 1-3. But maybe it goes over today. Maybe. Possible potential. See, that's the thing. You would have to trust the Rangers to get runs. You have to trust the Angels, Athletics, to get runs. I'm gonna cue up the over. First 5 over. That's what I'm gonna say. We'll see. But that's that. That's all I got. That's all I have. I was able to break down most of the games. The hope is that this stuff goes the way that I hopefully predict. Again, hopefully. Oh, my brother just sent me a slip. He sent a few slips. He's trying to cash tonight, my man. All right. All right, I'm out of here. Thanks for coming through, Lauren Ellis. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. And anybody else that was watching, apologies again for the mic situation. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know. I really don't want to touch my mic. I kind of like it the way that it's sitting. It's okay right here. It's not perfect the way I would want it to be set up. It was fine the way it was. It's just that, I don't know, my laptop just didn't like holding on to it any longer. But anyway, I got a bunch of stuff here. I'll just share it in the everything that I went over. I'll share it in the web. I gotta do it quick too, because some of these games, I think some of the stuff that I did put on here are early. Actually, no, everything's good. Everything that I took was after the 610 640. So but we'll see. I did say full game under because that's one of my main picks anyway, so we're good. All right, for the very first game, it's getting ready to start in like 2 minutes. But all right, I'm out. Y'all stay safe. Take care of your family, friends, and loved ones. But first and foremost, you got to take care of yourself, physically, mentally, spiritually, all of that. Take care of yourself so that you can then, if you feel up to it, take care of your family, friends, and loved ones. Be kind to one another. Let's hope for the best for tonight. Let's just enjoy some sports, whether it's MLB or football, because NFL's getting ready to really start picking up soon in the next few weeks. And then college football will be back for me. I can't wait. And then my favorite sport out of every sport is basketball, which is the NBA, and college basketball. I can't wait, coming in October and November. But with that, I'm out. Y'all stay safe, stay humble. Like I said, take care of yourselves. And I will hopefully talk to you all tomorrow morning, roughly about 8 a.m., 9 a.m., something like that, to go over the early slate tomorrow. It's probably going to be 8 a.m. if I do start. It's going to be probably around 8:30, so we can really dive into some of this stuff, or all the slate, and then we'll go from there. But I'm out. I'll holler at you later, guys. I'll